Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Zara, your host, and I am so glad you're here. Today, we're tackling something that literally almost every language learner struggles with at some point. Have you ever felt that intense frustration of really wanting to speak English naturally, but instead you kind of end up sounding like a textbook? Or maybe, you find yourself silently translating every single sentence in your head before you speak, and what happens? It leaves this long, awkward pause before you actually answer. We've all been there. You just want the English to flow smoothly, naturally, and comfortably. Well, you are in exactly the right place. In this explainer of our source material, we are going to break down a fantastic 30-day challenge that's specifically designed to get you speaking English naturally. Our goal here is actually very straightforward: 30 days to natural English speaking fluency. Now, let's be completely realistic right out of the gate. I am absolutely not promising that you're going to become completely 100% fluent in a month. Fluency is a journey, and it takes time. But if you practice the right way every single day for the next 30 days, you are going to become noticeably more comfortable, faster, and just far more natural. And honestly, the best part? You absolutely do not need to study for 3 hours a day to make massive progress. You don't. You just need a simple, consistent system. So go ahead and grab your coffee, get cozy, and let's dive into this. So here is our 30-day roadmap. Number 1, we'll look at how to stop translating and start thinking directly in English. Number 2, we're going to build those core habits for natural speaking. Number 3, we'll master real conversations. Number 4, we'll break down a super manageable 20-minute daily routine. And finally, number 5, we're going to launch your official 30-day challenge. All right, let's jump right into section 1, Stop Translating, Start Thinking. This right here addresses what is arguably the single biggest hurdle for any English learner. It's really easy to see why speaking sometimes feels so incredibly slow. Just look at the translation process here. Let's say someone asks what you're doing tonight. Well, first, your brain forms the thought in your native language. Then you translate it. Then you pause to check your grammar. Then you choose your words. And finally, you actually speak. I am going to stay at home. That multi-step process, it simply takes too much time. It's like a traffic jam in your brain. Now compare that to the natural process. It's direct. You think in English, and then you speak. So for the next 30 days, your very first habit is going to be spending just 5 minutes every single morning training your brain to think directly in English. And the key to building this new habit is beautifully simple. You don't need complicated thoughts. You just need English thoughts. You've got to start incredibly small here. When you make up, just think to yourself, I am tired, or I need coffee. When you step outside, look around and think, it is cold today, or the sky looks beautiful. It seriously doesn't need to be Shakespeare. Doing this for just 5 minutes with simple, direct English thoughts every morning is exactly how you build that mental muscle. Let's move on to our next point and see how this actually builds your vocabulary. A really huge mistake learners make is memorizing individual words. Words like recommend, decision, or comfortable. But here's the thing, knowing a single word absolutely does not mean you can use it quickly in a sentence. Native speakers do not build sentences word by word. We use familiar patterns. So instead of just learning recommend, learn the complete phrase. Can you recommend a good restaurant? Instead of decision, learn I haven't made a decision yet. When you learn in phrases, you instantly have a ready-to-use chunk of natural English just waiting in your brain. Okay, moving right along to section 2, Habits for Natural Speaking. These are the daily practical exercises that are going to train your mouth and your brain to just flow smoothly together. So if you want to build that smooth flow, there is a totally crucial technique you need to know about called shadowing. The source material highlights this as one of the absolute best ways to practice all by yourself. Basically, shadowing means listening to an English speaker and speaking along with them at the exact same time. You aren't just reading text out loud, you are actively copying their rhythm, where they put stress on certain words, their pronunciation, and the overall musical intonation of their voice. And here is exactly how you do it. Step 1, find a really short clip of English that you mostly understand, maybe just 30 seconds long. Step 2, listen to it once, all the way through, without speaking at all. Just absorb it. Step 3, play it again, and this time speak right along with the speaker. If they say, I don't know what you're talking about, you try to copy exactly how they blend those words together. Try doing this for 5 to 10 minutes a day. And please remember, your goal here is not to sound exactly like a Hollywood movie star or to get a flawless British accent. No way. Your goal is simply to make your English smoother and much more connected. Now, a huge part of speaking naturally is keeping the flow going. even when things go totally wrong, because they will. If you set a timer to practice speaking for 5 minutes, what happens when you inevitably forget a word? Don't stop. Explain it. Let's say you completely blank on the word umbrella. Don't freeze up in a panic. Just say, oh, the thing you use when it rains. Boom. That is successful communication. You always want to prioritize keeping the conversation moving over searching for the absolute perfect vocabulary word. All right, let's transition right into section 3, master real English conversations. We're moving from your solo practice to the actual tactical phrases that will help you survive and thrive when talking to real people.
Conversations often feel difficult simply because we just don't know how to start them, right? Well, these natural starters are about to be your best friends. How's it going? What have you been up to? These are warm, they're friendly, and they're super authentic. But I really want you to look at the last one on that list. Tell me more about that. Guys, this is your secret weapon. Seriously, if someone tells you they went to a new restaurant, don't just say, nice. Say, really, tell me more about that. Suddenly, one simple little answer blossoms into a real flowing conversation.
Here's a secret. Real conversations are totally unpredictable, and native speakers do not answer every single question instantly. We pause too. The difference is, instead of just standing there saying, we use natural filler phrases to buy our brain a little bit of time. That's a good question. Let me think. How can I explain this? Memorize a few of these. I promise you, they act as a wonderful safety net. They keep you sounding fluent even when your brain is frantically searching for vocabulary in the background. And hey, let's not forget the power of small reactions. Natural conversations are absolutely filled with these little phrases. No way. Exactly. Seriously? I know, right? Dropping these small, everyday reactions into a chat instantly makes it feel alive and connected. It proves you are actively listening, and honestly, it takes the pressure off of you to constantly use big, complicated sentences. Now, if you ever get completely stuck and you just don't know what to say about a topic, use this simple speaking formula from our explainer. Opinion, reason, example. Let's say someone asks you about learning English. First, give your opinion. I like learning English. Second, provide a reason, because it gives me more opportunities. Third, share an example. For example, I can talk to people from different countries. 1, 2, 3. It is a brilliant, foolproof structure that helps you give a complete, natural-sounding answer to literally almost any question. So, you might be wondering, how do we actually fit all of these incredible habits into our crazy busy lives? Let's check out section 4, the 20-minute daily routine. I really want you to notice how beautifully simple this routine is. Look at this breakdown. 50% of your time, which is literally just 10 minutes, is spent listening and shadowing to build that rhythm we talked about. 25% of your time, so 5 minutes, is spent speaking out loud. Maybe you're using our opinion, reason, example formula, or just telling a simple story to yourself. And the final 25%, another 5 minutes, is specifically for learning and reviewing complete, useful phrases. That is only 20 minutes a day. A short, highly structured routine like this is far more useful than exhausting yourself by passively watching English videos for hours on end. Consistency beats intensity, for sure, every single time. And that brings us to our final section, which is honestly the most exciting part, your 30-day challenge. This is where we put the whole shebang into action. To really see your progress, you are going to need a baseline. So on day 1, I want you to take out your phone, open up the voice recorder, and just speak English for 1 minute. Talk about anything, your day, your goals, what you had for breakfast. I know it might feel a little awkward, but do it anyway. When you listen back to it, absolutely do not criticize yourself. Just notice. Are you pausing a lot? Are you speaking too slowly? Then, on day 29, you're going to do it all over again. Compare those 2 recordings. You are going to be absolutely amazed to hear the tangible, real improvements in your speed, your clarity, and your confidence. To succeed here, you really have to adopt this exact mindset from our source material. Mistakes are not proof that you're bad at English. They are proof that you're using English. Please, please do not let the fear of bad grammar or picking the wrong vocabulary word stop you from communicating. Speak. Notice your errors, correct them later, and just try again. Always remember, your goal is connection, not perfection. 30. That is the number of days it takes to truly build these foundational habits. Try your hardest not to skip a day just because you feel tired or unmotivated. Motivation will always come and go, but habits stay. Even on your really tough days, just commit to those 20 minutes. Keep that chain going. So I guess the final question for you is this. Are you ready to take the 30-day English speaking challenge? Are you ready to finally stop waiting for your English to be perfect and start taking daily, actionable steps toward feeling comfortable, confident, and natural? Because every single sentence you speak is practice, and every mistake you make is just bringing you closer to your goal. So ask yourself, what is your English going to sound like 30 days from now? Thank you so much for joining me today for this explainer. I'm Zara, and I absolutely cannot wait for you to begin your journey. Keep practicing, be kind to yourself, and I'll see you next time.